Hey guys, Oversized Till over here, and welcome to episode 3 of my Oppaifu interview. And I have a guest with me that I haven't talked to in a very long time. Some of you may actually know who he is. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
What's up, my fellow disciples? It's Seiryu, Majin, you know what I'm saying? I'm not dead, I promise you. What's good, y'all? Y'all been around Suzaku's channel forever. Y'all know who I am, but if you don't, I was someone who used to do a lot of hentai reviews. I did some top 10, stuff like that. Around back in the day, I think 8K, 9K. I was pretty small, but I did it for the fun. But yeah, it's good to be here. It's been a good 2.5, 3 years or so.
So my friend Seiryu, I've actually known him for a very long time. I would say back in
Very long
I would
time.
say, oh my God, how long has it been since I've known you? I've known you from the
I
Skype
want to
years, so it was a lot longer than
probably
20.
2016.
When was your first love with breast content?
I feel like a lot of people that like kind of watch your content kind of do the breast limit kind of shit. So
Yep.
I feel like basically I've started like everyone else. Like I've always loved like huge tits. Like that's always been my main thing. And I never had like a point in like when I looked at real life people where I'm like, oh damn, her tits are so big, or like, oh, her back. It's like, yeah, the same people that go like OMG her back, or like the same people that look at a fat ass and don't say OMG her ankles, but you know,
Yeah.
that's a whole other can of worms.
Yeah.
Basically I started watching more hentai. Honestly, I started exploring the more doujin side of things. Back then, a lot of hentai content didn't really have a lot of creativity. They mostly creativity in terms of like breast content. Obviously, when it comes to like different fetishes and stuff,
Yeah.
I feel like hentai was way more wild back then. I mean, you
Oh
had like
yeah.
Resort Boyne and Taimon and Asagi and shit. Like they just did not give a fuck, right? But that was kind of the joy of it. But when it comes to breast content, like the hentai anime has always been like kind of lacking in that, I feel, up until recently. I feel like recently now it's like pretty good.
Nothing's gonna
Could be
top
better, but pretty
2015
good.
though. 2015 was the breast
Yeah,
of all
2015.
hentai.
I started exploring the doujin and game CG side of things because that's where the real creativity side of things, because they don't really have budgets they need to break, so they don't need to appeal to a mass audience. So when people do doujins and hentai games, they can kind of like do their own thing. Taimon and Asagi was such like a breakout for hentai anime because it was so out there and so
Hmm.
crazy and over the top. When I started exploring doujins and stuff, I was like, okay, maybe I can dig a bit into this. But I did have a breast limit back then, but I wouldn't really say there was like a specific thing. I think it looks a little goofy, but now I'm just like, I don't give a fuck.
Hmm.
I'm in the motto of the bigger the better, and
Hmm.
if it's in fiction, I don't really literally do not care. And hell, even in real life, I don't care. Like if your tits are like getting to the point where they're bigger than your head, I don't care, bro. Like you embrace that shit, you enjoy it.
Hmm.
I don't really have a problem with it. Same thing with like ridiculously oversized asses. Like I'm very much in the camp of like, if artists want to make disproportional art where like they have the thinnest waist imaginable but like the biggest fucking ass where like you can just sleep on it, I'm all for it. Like
Yeah.
in my opinion, I feel like it's a form of creativity, and like there is really no such thing. If your art style is good and you got like a consistent style, like I don't think it's really a problem to have like your proportion out of whack of the norm, because it's like it's what you like. I appreciate that they just don't care, you know.
Yeah.
They just do their own thing. I respect the fuck out of it.
Explain to the audience how you discovered my content and also carried into your YouTube career.
I want to say 2016, 2015, I met you and you showed me the way through like breaking the breast limit. But around 2016, I said, yeah, I actually do want to make like a channel like hentai stuff. I've been watching hentai since I was 13. I would never condone like, you know, watching hentai. It just kind of happened, you know.
Yeah.
I'm also not a parent, so like you kind of do whatever you want with your kids. Just make sure they're not like chronically addicted to it at a young age. So when I was 17, I was like, yeah, I kind of want to do a YouTube channel on this stuff, but I wanted to wait till I was 18, which I did. About a month after I turned 18 in 2017, I was like, I'm gonna start up this channel. I did some like basic ones. I was kind of spitballing a lot of different ideas. Admittedly, a lot of it was like very basic, very simple stuff like, oh, I like this character, or like this is a hentai I really like. And my favorite series was actually doing the artist showcase stuff. That was always my I wish I did it now, looking back on it. Like I wish that like if I had the audience I still did back then. There are so many more artists that I want to talk about because there's so much more unique artists. We're in a golden era of like Twitter artists where they just making the most bomb shit ever. So I wanted to do the hentai stuff after meeting you, because I thought it was kind of interesting, and there wasn't like literally nobody doing that kind of content besides you, honestly. Like I mean, there were still like, if you guys are like super anime OGs, you may remember, was it Darkness Dragoon Rose? There was another anime content creator that had like really shitty mic, but he would occasionally do hentai reviews, and I was like, damn, he was mainly focusing on the anime stuff. No one's really doing this type of stuff, and I really feel like I could have taken off, but I just kind of like life got really busy and stuff, but that's neither here or there. But well, eventually that would spark, you know, with people like Heart Vegan who would take off, and now doing like, you know, collabs with Project Melody and stuff. So it's obviously like the audience for it has gotten bigger, for just hentai content in general. You know, it's not just constant shit post anymore. I feel like if people actually like the informative side of things, I think that's kind of cool. Long story short, like, yeah, after I turned 18, I started doing top 10s basic artist showcase, and I did it for a good 2-3 years, but then life kind of got in the way, and I just kind of like started focusing on kind of getting my life back on track.
I do appreciate the time and effort that you put in, even though you said you wanted to put more effort into it, but it was really nice to see it wasn't just me out there doing hentai content. It was nice to see you try to do something, and even other people too, but it was cool to see you try something a little different to get yourself out there, and you got a lot of subs at a short time you actually were around. I mean, people were like commenting your videos, I was commenting your videos, I was giving you some requests like check out the mother and daughter hentai and talk about that, and talk about Manu or even Time in Asagi and stuff like that, and give your thoughts about it. And you even would do like say, what if Time in Asagi was an ecchi or something?
They ended up making Action Taimanin, which was the free-to-play hack and slash. I was like, dude, this is what I wanted. You know? I mean, that's still something. And like,
it was a close enough.
It actually happened. So it was cool though. It was cool.
Is there any future plans you want to do, like future YouTube plans? Like you said, like maybe one day I'll come back and do something a little different. So could you specify on what that could be?
The thing is if I came back, it would not be hentai or edgy content. Hell, it wouldn't really be even anime content. I was actually wanting to do game reviews. I've gotten into so many different games recently. I stopped being one of those lame asses on YouTube that are constantly farming the gaming is dead trend when, you know, like it's just a self-report saying you just don't play video games. Put it long story short, I've been discovering so many different games. Finally stopped getting on the live service, constantly online only stuff, and I just started playing more games, and I'm like way more happier with gaming right now, and that's been my main passion, just playing so many classics and even new games too. Like I'm still playing new stuff. Like I would love to get into game reviews, honestly, and kind of talk about the more obscure stuff too. Kind of want to low-key make a channel about like more obscure games, not like Japan only, like online only DSi, where it's more like lesser known stuff, or at least games that kind of fell under the wayside. Would love to do.
Talk about like your favorite Oppaifu characters. Like I actually have Lady J on here on my thumbnail and also in the video here.
Yeah, Lady J is up there. She will always be super iconic for me. Like I think she is like single-handedly responsible for breaking my limit. Once I saw her, I was like, I don't care anymore. Like this shit is peak, you know. Momoka Azawa, who's been my profile pic for like 7 years, she's definitely up there as well. Kyoka from Energy Kyoka, she's all-time classic. I also really like Misery from Yokoso Sukubeo.
Yes.
My new all-time favorite besides Momoka, Liliana-san, who is more on she's still extremely busty, but she's more on the modest side of things compared to Momoka and Misery and Lady J, but she's still pretty busty. But yeah, Liliana-san.
The last thing I want to say is, where can people find you right now?
If you guys go to my Twitter, you can still find me on there. It's gonna be at Seiryu Majin R18. I changed the handle because, you know, I retweet a lot of art, but if you want to find all of my socials, every single one of them can be found on seryumajin.card.co, my YouTube, my Twitter, my Blue Sky, my Facebook, my anime list, and my Curious Cat. So it has all of them there if you ever want to reach out and give me a DM or anything, or if you want to send whatever your way, like by all means. But I'm very, very, very active on Twitter. Again, at Seiryu Majin R18. There is a Seiryu Majin out there that is owned by me, but that's more of a private account. If you want to just contact with me in general, just reach out to me at Seiryu Majin R18. I'm most likely to respond. Yeah, man, I'm super active on Twitter. That's probably the easiest place to find me.
If you guys love Massive Up High, he's really another guy you could talk about maybe some other great moments and all that. But yeah, guys, so this has been a great interview. I want to thank Seiryu. It's been a long time. It's really great to have him around. And I know some of y'all are like, oh my God, Seiryu Majin, I haven't heard from this dude in a hot minute. But yeah, that's going to do it. And thank you, Seiryu, for everything. And I'll see you in the near future. As we all should know, Oppai is plot.